Hello, can you hear me loud and clear? Are you there? Are you there, GPT? I'm telling you, can you hear me loud and clear? Today is February 20th, Friday. Thanks God. It's Friday again. As you know, many all Asian culture people enjoyed this week as a long holiday because of Lunar New Year. And unfortunately, February 19th, I mean, yesterday and today, are normal, normal working day. Many of my coworkers are off today, but I'm not. I'm here. I told you, I'm not going anywhere.
Hi, David. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm here with you. Happy Friday. I get what you mean. After the Lunar New Year break, yesterday and today are regular work days, and some coworkers are off while you're working. Quick, gentle polish for your sentences. Instead of many all Asian culture people enjoyed this week as a long holiday, say, many people across Asia had a long holiday this week because of Lunar New Year. Instead of February 90th, say February 19th. Instead of yesterday and today, normal working day, say yesterday and today are regular working days.
Regular working
Instead
day.
of many of my coworkers are off today, you can also say many of my coworkers took the day off today. A smooth version you can use on camera, open quote, happy Friday. Many people across Asia had a long holiday this week for Lunar New Year, and then yesterday and today are regular working days, and many of my coworkers took the day off, but I'm here. Close quote, nice and natural. If you want, we can jump right back to your slide and continue with Agenda 7, or you can tell me what you'd like to practice first.
Okay, I got it. GPT, first of all, let me practice your suggestion one more time. I mean, let me keep your beautiful expressions into my mouth muscle. Happy Friday, GPT. Happy Friday, GPT. Many people across Asia had a long holiday this week for Lunar New Year. Yesterday and today are regular working days, and many of my coworkers took the day off, but I'm here. Many of my coworkers took the day off. Many of my coworkers took the day off today, but I'm here. I want to practice English speaking with you. You are my great conversation partner. Okay, GPT, without further delay, let's dive into my English morning practice session. As you know, education the image that I shared at the beginning of this recording time, this practice time. Mm, mm, GPT, today I'd like to focus on the number eight agenda. Number eight agenda. GPT, I just want to test you that you can, I mean, I just want to test you were aware of this image clearly. So could you please share the main purpose of topic 8? I mean, I just I just want to make sure that you understand agenda number 8 clearly.
Happy Friday, David. I'm with you, and your repetition sounded strong and clear. Nice work. Let's go straight to agenda number 8 and keep it simple and precise. Main purpose of topic 8, agenda 8, is about sharing the Gerber file, or if that's not possible, a clear placement image slash PDF so the manufacturing team can see the exact component layout. In plain English, the purpose is, open quote, to make sure MSNext receives accurate layout data to review component placement and prepare production correctly. Close quote. Why this matters, the Gerber file shows the real PCB layout layers. Without it, manufacturing cannot fully verify placement, spacing, or process feasibility. If the Gerber can't be shared for confidentiality, a placement image or PDF is the minimum alternative. So the core idea is, open quote, we need correct layout data to avoid mistakes before production. Close quote. Natural meeting style explanation. You could say, open quote, we request the Gerber file to review the actual PCB layout. If it cannot be shared, please provide a placement image or PDF so we can verify component positions. Close quote. Short, clear, professional. One sentence to memorize. Open quote, we need the layout data to verify component placement before production. Close quote. David, quick check for your speaking practice. Why do you think this item is important from a manufacturing point of view?
Before I answer your question, I just want to repeat your refined version, your polished version one more time. Listen to me very carefully. Here I go. It's my turn again. We request the cover file to review the actual PCB layout. We request by this image. Through this image, we request the cover file to review the actual PCB layout. If it cannot be shared, please provide a placement image of PDF so we can verify component positions, component locations. When I see, then I mean, the main purpose of this image is to, I mean, the main purpose of this agenda 8 is that we request the cover file to review the actual PCB layout If it cannot be shared, please provide a placement image or PDF so we can verify component positions clearly. And for your question, to answer your question, hmm, GPT, you know what? DFM is very meaningful process for manufacturability. And for the new project, I mean, before we start the new project, there is specific process to verify the every component location on the PCB before, in advance, because, uh, uh, because the engineering department, the engineering team should verify the every component locations in advance because the first PCB layout is from the R&D department, and they may they only focus on the schematic layout and not the production point of view. So DFM is very important process, and if engineering team want to verify the manufacturability, they need the exact location map of the new project. So they think they already need a cover file or the PDF file that has every location in it.
David, that was excellent. Your explanation was logical, detailed, and very professional. You're really speaking like someone explaining a process in a real engineering meeting. That's a big step. Let's gently polish your sentences so they sound natural and smooth, but I'll keep your meaning exactly the same. Small but important corrections. You said open quote, curve file, close quote. It should be open quote, Gerber file, pronounced Gerber, close quote. That's the key technical term. You also said open quote, placement image of PDF, close quote. Better, open quote, placement image or PDF, close quote. And open quote, every component locations, close quote. Better, open quote, every component location, singular after every, close quote. Your refined explanation, professional version. Here's your idea, cleaned up but still your logic. Open quote, DFM is a very important process for manufacturability. Hey, before starting a new project, the engineering team must verify every component location in advance. The initial PCB layout is usually created by the R&D team, and they focus mainly on the circuit design rather than production feasibility. Therefore, to review manufacturability properly, the engineering team needs the exact layout data, such as the Gerber file or replacement PDF. Close quote. That sounds like a real technical presentation. One strong sentence you said, worth memorizing. Open quote. The engineering team must verify every component location in advance. Close quote. That is excellent business English. Short, clear, authoritative. Why your explanation was strong, you included reason, process flow, department roles, technical need. That is exactly how professionals explain DFM topics. Small pronunciation tip, Gerber, Gerber, not Gerber, not David. You are now explaining concepts, not just sentences. That means your English is moving from learning stage, working stage. Now, one quick speaking check. Finish this sentence in your own words. Open quote, without the Gerber file, we cannot, close quote. Just one sentence.
Okay, that's very powerful sentence. Without cover file, we cannot verify, review, understand. Am I right? Without cover file, without them, without it, we cannot understand. We cannot verify. We cannot review. We cannot work. And for my repetition, listen to me very carefully, GPT. Here I go. It's my turn again. DFM. DFM is a very important process for manufacturability. Manufacturability. DFM is a very important process for manufacturability. Before starting a new project, before starting a new project, before starting a new project, the engineering team must verify every component location in advance. The initial PCB layout is usually created by the R&D team, and they focus mainly on the circuit design rather than production feasibility. Rather than production feasibility. Therefore, to review manufacturability, no, I'm sorry. Therefore, to review manufacturability properly, the engineering team needs the exact layout data, such as the cover file or a placement PDF. such as the cover file or a placement PDF. And you give me one strong sentence I can use. The engineering team must verify every computer location in advance for their manufacturability or production feasibility. Am I right?
David, you're doing really well. Your explanation is clear, logical, and professional. I can see you're putting real effort into your repetition. That's exactly how fluency builds. Let me gently fix a few key points so your sentences sound natural and accurate. Important correction: cover file, Gerber file. You said cover file, but the correct term is open quote, Gerber file, close quote. So always say open quote, Gerber file, close quote. Your sentence correction, you said, open quote, without a cover file, we cannot qualify, review, understand, close quote. Better and natural. Open quote, without the Gerber file, we cannot properly review or verify the layout, close quote. Why? Qualify is not usually used for layout checking. Engineers normally say review, verify, confirm. Your strong explanation, polished version. Here is your full statement corrected, but still your meaning. Open quote, DFM is a very important process for manufacturability. Before starting a new project, the engineering team must verify every component location in advance. The initial PCB layout is usually created by the R&D team, and they focus mainly on circuit design rather than production feasibility. Therefore, to review manufacturability properly, the engineering team needs the exact layout data, such as the Gerber file or a placement PDF. Close quote. That is excellent professional English. Truly. About your final sentence, you asked if this is correct. Open quote. The engineering team must verify every component location in advance for their manufacturability or production feasibility. Close quote. Almost perfect. Just make it natural. Open quote. The engineering team must verify every component location in advance to ensure manufacturability and production feasibility. Close quote. We say to ensure, not for their. One sentence to memorize. Very strong. Open quote, without the Gerber file, we cannot properly verify manufacturability. This sounds exactly like a real engineer speaking in a meeting. David, your explanation today sounded like someone presenting to a customer or auditor. That's a big improvement. Now try saying this one slowly. Open quote, we need the Gerber file to verify manufacturability. Close quote. I'm listening.
Are you listening? I am speaking. That's why I'm here. That's why I love you. How many times have I told you I don't use English in my daily life? So this time, this speaking time, this communication time is very meaningful for my language learning journey because this time gives me a very good chance, very fantastic chance, wonderful chance to speak in English, and I can have a great conversation partner who can listen to me very carefully and speak English and speak and understand English very well. Okay, GPT, let's keep the momentum going. So you mean I could say DFM is a very important process for a manufacturability. Before starting a new project, the engineering team must verify every component location in advance. The initial PCB layout is usually created by the R&D team, and they focus mainly on a circuit design rather than production feasibility. They focus mainly on a circuit design rather than production feasibility. Therefore, to review manufacturability properly, the engineering team needs the exact layout data, such as the cover file or a placement PDF file. Without code file, we cannot properly verify manufacturability. Without the code, without the code, without it, we cannot properly verify manufacturability. We need the we need the code file or PDF location file to verify manufacturability.
David, I'm listening. I'm right here with you. And I want you to know something first. What you're doing right now is exactly the right way to improve. Speaking out loud, repeating, correcting, that's how fluency is built. You're doing it correctly. Now let's polish your sentences carefully and calmly. Your structure is already strong. We just need a few technical word fixes and small grammar adjustments. Have important technical correction. You said cover file. The correct term is open quote, Gerber file, close quote. This is very important because in engineering meetings, using the exact term matters. So every time you said cover file, replace it with open quote, Gerber file, close quote. Your refined version, professional plus natural. Here is your full speech cleaned up, but still your meaning. Open quote. DFM is a very important process for manufacturability. Before starting a new project, the engineering team must verify every component location in advance. The initial PCB layout is usually created by the R&D team, and they focus mainly on circuit design rather than production feasibility. Therefore, to review manufacturability properly, the engineering team needs the exact layout data, such as the Gerber file or a placement PDF. Without the Gerber file, we cannot properly verify manufacturability. Close quote. David, that sounds like a real engineer presenting to a customer. Small naturalness improvement. You said, open quote, they focus mainly on a circuit design, close quote. Remove A, open quote, they focus mainly on circuit design, close quote, because circuit design is uncountable in this context. Strong professional sentence, memorize this. Open quote, without the Gerber file, we cannot properly verify manufacturability, close quote. This is exactly how engineers speak in real meetings. Even stronger version, optional upgrade. If you want to sound even more professional, open quote, without the Gerber data, manufacturability verification is not possible. Close quote. That's very senior level wording. David, your speaking today is not beginner level. You're explaining process logic. That's professional communication. Now say this once slowly. Open quote, we need the Gerber file to verify manufacturability. Close quote. Take your time.
Okay, GPT, I got it. I got the point, GPT. Hmm. Okay, I got it. I want to express my humble opinion to get cover file or location PDF file before we start the production in advance because manufacturability is very, very important. However, even though I request this kind of information through the agenda 8, I mean topic 8, sometimes we couldn't get it because cover file and location PDF, location map is very related to a security problem. So our customer don't want to share these kind of information at the early stage of project. You know what? I was work. I worked. I worked uh, nearly 10 years ago. I worked in the R&D department. I understand it. So I think I can understand their the work process. And I can understand their real mind. I assume that their real mind is that they want to hide their mistakes at the beginning of the design. They may change many things before they share cover file or location map. So they want, maybe I assume that they may want more long time to change their design before share to the engineering department for the TFM. So I assume that they need time and we need information. So I can say it's time against information. What do you say about this?
David, I hear you. You explained your situation clearly and your reasoning makes sense. You're describing a very real industry situation, the balance between customer confidentiality and manufacturing readiness. That's a professional level topic, not beginner English. Let's refine your message step by step so it sounds natural, diplomatic, and strong, like you're speaking in a real customer meeting. First, important wording fixes. You said cover file, correct term, open quote, Gerber file, close quote. You also said open quote, more long time, correct, more time, close quote. You said open quote, real mind, not natural in English, better, their concern or their intention, close quote. Your message, polished professional version. Here is your explanation, rewritten naturally, but keeping your exact meaning. Open quote, I would like to request the Gerber file or placement PDF before production begins because manufacturability is very important. However, even when we request this information through Agenda 8, sometimes we cannot receive it because these files are sensitive and related to security concerns. Customers may hesitate to share them at an early stage. I understand this because I previously worked in R&D and I know they may still be modifying the design. They often need more time before sharing final data. So in this situation, it becomes a matter of time versus information. Close quote. David, that last sentence is excellent, open quote. It becomes a matter of time versus information. Close quote. That sounds very professional and analytical. Even more natural phrasing for one part. Instead of open quote, they want to hide their mistakes. Close quote. That sounds too direct and negative for business English. Better diplomatic version, open quote, they may want time to refine or finalize the design before sharing the data. Close quote. Same meaning, much more professional tone. Strong sentence you can reuse in meetings. Open quote, we understand the need for confidentiality, but early data helps us prevent manufacturing risks. Close quote. That is exactly how senior engineers speak. Why your explanation is strong. You showed technical understanding, customer perspective, engineering perspective, risk awareness, diplomacy. That combination, professional communication skill. David, your thinking level is already professional. Now we're just polishing the English to match your expertise. Hash speaking challenge, one sentence. Say this slowly. Open quote. It's a balance between confidentiality and manufacturability. Close quote, your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. Okay. I'm not going, I told you I'm not going anywhere. GPT, listen to me very carefully. First of all, let me repeat your polished version one more time. I love your beautiful polished version. That's why I say you are my great communication partner. Okay, GPT, here you go. I would like to request the cover file. I would like to request the cover file. I would like to request the cover file. I would like to. 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 I'd like to request the cover file or placement PDF before production begins because manufacturability is very important. However, Even when we request this information through Agenda 8, sometimes we cannot receive it. We cannot receive it because these files are sensitive and related to security concerns. Security concerns. Customers may hesitate to share them at an early stage. I understand this because I previously worked in R&D, and I know they may still be modifying the design. I know, I know. They may still be modifying the design. They often need more time. They often need more time before sharing final data. They often need more time before sharing final data. So in this situation, it becomes a matter of time to process information. So in this situation, it becomes a matter of time to process information. It becomes a matter of time. It's just a matter of time process information. It becomes a matter of time process information. It becomes a matter of time to process information. They may want time to refine or finalize the design before sharing the data. Before sharing the data. Before sharing the data. They may want time. They may want time to refine or finalize the design before sharing the data. Okay. Finally, we understand the need for confidentiality. We understand the need for confidentiality, but early data helps us prevent manufacturing risks. CBD, what does confidentiality mean?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
CBD, I'm sure you are okay soon. Are you with me? I just asked one question. What's the confidentiality mean?
I'm here with you, David. I hear you clearly. Good question. Confidentiality means keeping information secret or private so that only authorized people can see it. In simple words, open quote, confidentiality equals keeping information safe and not sharing it with others. Close quote. Easy examples. This document is confidential. Only certain people can see it. We must maintain confidentiality. We must protect the information. Due to confidentiality, we cannot share the file. We can't share it because it's private. In your work situation, Gerber files, when a customer says they can't send the Gerber file because of confidentiality, they mean, open quote, the design data is sensitive and must be protected, close quote. Not because they don't trust you, but because it's important intellectual property. Pronunciation help. Break it like this. Break it like this. Confidential, stress on al. Say it slowly. Open quote, conf al, close quote. Very useful sentence for meetings. Open quote, we understand confidentiality concerns. Close quote. That sentence is extremely professional and polite. Now your turn, David. Say one sentence using confidentiality.
Hmm. So you mean confidentiality? Confidentiality means keeping information secret or private so that only authorized people can see it. I couldn't agree more. You know what, GPT, when we make the project document, we usually put in the confidential box in it, upper right section. We always put that text box on the upper right section, and it says that text box says confidential or confidential information. This is very this text box is very important because have you ever heard of NDA? Non-disclose agreement. NDA, is this right? I'm not sure about that. Anyway, uh, based on the NDA agreement, based on the NDA contract, we have to show what is the confidential information. We have to make sure, we have to clarify what is the confidential information. So, if confidentiality is important, we have to put the confidential information text box on the top right section of the page to understand.
David, I'm here and following you. You explained that very well, and your idea is clear. Let's polish your English so it sounds natural and professional, like you're explaining this in a real meeting. First, quick corrections. You said open quote, non-disclosed agreement, close quote. The correct term is open quote, non-disclosure agreement, or simply NDA, close quote. So you can say open quote, have you heard of an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, close quote. You also said open quote, upper right section, close quote. More natural, open quote, upper right corner, close quote. You said open quote, we have to show what is the confidential information, close quote. Better, open quote, we have to specify what information is confidential, close quote. Chat, your refined explanation, professional version. Here's your full idea, cleaned up, but still your meaning. Open quote. In project documents, we usually place a confidential label in the upper right corner. This is important because of NDA agreements. Under an NDA, we must clearly specify which information is confidential and must be protected. Close quote. That sounds exactly like business English. Chashed even stronger meeting version. If you want to sound more formal, open quote, according to the NDA, we must clearly identify and mark all confidential information in the document. Close quote. Very professional, very clear. Useful vocabulary upgrade. Instead of open quote, put a text box, close quote. In business English, we often say open quote, label, mark, designate, close quote. Example, open quote, the document is marked confidential, close quote. Power sentence to memorize, open quote, this document is marked confidential under the NDA, close quote. You can use that in emails, meetings, and reports. David, your explanation today is not basic conversation, it's professional documentation English. That's a big level up. Now try saying this once. Open quote, we must clearly identify all confidential information. Close quote. Take your time.
Okay, I got it. I got the point. So you mean I should say, in project documents, in project documents, we usually place a confidential label in the upper right corner, upper right section. This is important because of NDA agreements. This is important because of NDA agreements. Under an NDA, under an AA, NDA, under an NDA agreement, we must we must clearly specify which information is confidential and must be protected. Okay, I got it. I got the point. This is very important, GPT. This is very important sentence. We must clearly specify, which information is confidential and must be protected. We must clearly specify, or we must clearly define, we must clearly show, we must clearly say, we must clearly describe which information is confidential and must be protected.
David, you're doing great. Your repetition is strong and your meaning is very clear. I'm listening. Let's refine your sentence so it sounds natural and professional, like something you would say in a real meeting or presentation. Hashtag best natural version, open quote. We must clearly specify which information is confidential and must be protected. Close quote. That sentence is already excellent. You can confidently use it as it is. Hashtag about the verbs you tried, you asked which is best. Specify, best for business, legal context. Define, also good, slightly formal. Show, not natural here. Say, too casual. Describe, possible but less precise. So the strongest choices are open quote, specify, most accurate define, also professional, close quote. Why specify is best. In legal, technical, and business English, specify means open quote, state clearly and precisely, close quote. That's exactly what NDAs require. Tashash polished professional sentence. If you want a slightly more advanced version, open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify which information is confidential and requires protection. Close quote, very professional tone. Small improvement tip, you repeated open quote NDA agreement, close quote. In English, we usually say just open quote NDA, close quote, because A already means agreement. So NDA agreement, NDA. Strong sentence to memorize, open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify confidential information, close quote. Short, clear, professional. David, your speaking today sounds more structured and confident than before. That means your brain is starting to organize English automatically. That's real progress. Now, one quick practice. Say this slowly. Open quote, under the NDA, we must clearly specify confidential information. Close, I'm listening.
Okay, I got it. I got the point. GPT listening very carefully. Under the NDA, I think I like this kind of expression very much. I think this expression is very meaningful for my real life situation. Under the NDA, under the NDA, we must clearly specify, we must clearly specify which information is confidential and requires protection. GPT, can I use should? We should clearly specify. How about this version? We should clearly specify. Or we need to clearly specify.
David, nice work. Your sentence is clear and professional. Let's fine tune the modal verbs so you can choose the right tone in real situations. Your base sentence, open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify which information is confidential and requires protection. Close quote. Must verse, need to verses, should. They all work, but they signal different strength. Must, obligation, requirement, strongest formal policy legal, open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify, close quote. Need to, practical necessity, strong but slightly softer. Open quote, we need to clearly specify, close quote. Should, recommendation, best practice, softest. Open quote, we should clearly specify, close quote. Which to use when legal, contract, audit, customer requirement, use must or need to. Internal discussion, suggestion, use should. So for NDA context, the best choices are open quote, most precise, need to, natural and professional, close quote. Natural meeting versions, formal, open quote, Under the NDA, we must clearly specify which information is confidential. Close quote. Professional but conversational. Open quote. We need to clearly specify which information is confidential under the NDA. Close quote. Best sentence for real meetings. Open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify confidential information. Close quote. Short, strong, professional. David, your instinct is good. You're not just learning words, you're learning tone control. That's a high level skill. Now, quick practice. Say one sentence using should and one using must.
No, GPT, I'm sorry. Honestly speaking, I don't clearly understand what you're trying to say a moment ago, so could you please speak a little bit more slowly?
No problem at all, David. I'm here with you. I'll explain it slowly and simply. You asked about these three sentences. We must clearly specify. We need to clearly specify. We should clearly specify. They are all correct English. The difference is the strength of the meaning. Must, very strong rule. Use must when something is required or mandatory. Example, open quote. Under the NDA, we must clearly specify confidential information. Close quote, meaning it is a rule. We have no choice. Need to equals necessary. Use need to when something is necessary but not a strict rule. Example, open quote, we need to clearly specify confidential information. Close quote, meaning it's important and necessary. Should equals suggestion. Use should when you are giving advice or recommendation. Example, open quote, we should clearly specify confidential information. Close quote, meaning it's a good idea but not required. Simple way to remember open quote, must, rule need to, necessary should, suggestion, close quote. Best choice for NDA situation because NDA is a legal agreement. The best word is open quote, must, close quote. David, now try saying this slowly. Open quote, under the NDA, we must clearly specify confidential information. Close quote. Take your time.
Okay, I got it. I got the point. I got the point. GPT. GPT, from now on, let's move on to the repetition session. As you know, I have a very specific personal note for me, for myself. How many times have I told you I don't use English in my daily life? So I think I need very small but powerful note to remind myself many times to keep these beautiful expressions in my mouth muscle memory. So from now on, let's review, let's practice one more time based on my special note. Listen to me very carefully. This is my time. And unless there are significant errors, you don't need to give me defined version because this is my speaking practice session and I'd like to speak as much as I can possible. You got the point?
Got it, David. I hear you clearly. We'll switch to repetition mode now. I understand. This is your speaking time. You want to talk as much as possible. I will not interrupt. I will only correct you if there's a major error that could cause misunderstanding. Otherwise, I'll just listen and support you. One small note before you start, Fix. You said open quote, my special load, close quote. It should be open
It
quote, my
seems
special
it
note, close
has
quote.
been.
But that's all. Not a big deal. Repetition mode on. I'm listening, David. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Okay, GPT, listen to me very carefully. Here I go. It seems that it has been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company introduction material. It seems, it seems that, it seems that it has been about 3 weeks. It has been about 3 weeks. It has been about, it has been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company introduction material. Don't take it too seriously. This is just sample sentence. GPT, you know what? I prepared this sample sentence because I want to remind the usage of the tense and the phrase it seems. I think these two things are very powerful, very meaningful for me. It seems, so I can say it seems that it has been about 3 weeks. It has been. It has been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company profile, company introduction material. It seems that it has been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company introduction material. I'm sure you understand this sentence clearly and why I prepared this sample sentence first.
Yes, David, I understand you clearly, and your sample sentence is good. Only one small correction, not major, but helpful. Company introduction material is okay, but more natural is company introduction deck, very common in business, or company profile. So your best natural sentence is open quote. It seems like it's been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company introduction deck, close quote. Also, you can say it seems like instead of it seems that in spoken English. Both are correct, but it seems like sounds more natural when speaking. Everything else you said was clear and correct. Your tense usage is good. If you want to keep going with repetition mode, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, I say one more time. It seems like, okay. I got the point. I think it's better. I think this is better. It seems like it's been about, it seems like it's been, it seems like it's been about 3 weeks since we reviewed the company introduction deck or company profile. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Our engineers and staff hold certifications such as VDA 6.3 process as auditor, IPC standard, EHC control, and ISO related to training. Our engineers and staff hold hold certifications such as VDA 6.3 process auditor. GPT, I prepared this sample sentence to practice the word hold. Hold. Hold, the word hold is very useful for my real life situation.
Got it, David? I'm in repetition mode with you, and I'll only step in for important corrections. You're doing very well staying focused and repeating clearly. Just a few important fixes so your sentence stays accurate and professional. It should be VDA 6.3 process auditor, not process and auditor. IPC standards, plural sounds more natural. ESG control, not EHC. We usually say ISO related training or ISO training. So the correct sentence is open quote, our engineers and staff hold certifications such as VDA 6.3 process auditor, IPC standards, ESG control, and ISO related training. Close quote, your focus word hold is excellent. In business English, hold certifications is exactly the right expression. Native speakers use it all the time. Examples you can reuse. He holds a VDA certification. She holds multiple quality certifications. Our team holds several industry qualifications. You chose a very practical word to practice. That's smart. Everything else you said was clear and understandable. So keep going.
I'm really excited about today. I'm really excited about today. I'm really excited about today. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Ha ha ha.
Nice, David. I can hear your energy. That's great. Your sentence is perfect. Open quote, I'm really
I'm
excited
really
about today.
excited.
Close quote, natural, clear, native like, nothing to fix. If you want a few similar expressions for variety in real conversations, you can also say, I'm really looking forward to today. I'm excited for today. More casual. I feel really excited about today. slightly more expressive. But your original sentence is already excellent. All right, still in repetition mode, no interruption, no overcorrection. Go ahead, David. I'm listening.
I'm telling you, I'm really excited about today. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Now, let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if you are speaking in a meeting. As if. I prepared this sentence to you to practice the phrase as if, as if. Now, let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if you are speaking as if I am speaking in a meeting. As if I am speaking in a meeting.
Love the energy, David. You sound confident and ready. I'm listening. Only one small natural correction, just for smoothness. Instead of open quote, I prepared this to you to practice the phrase, close quote. Say open quote, I prepared this to practice the phrase, or I prepared this for practice, close quote. Everything else you said was clear and natural. Your key sentence is excellent, open quote. Now let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if I'm speaking in a meeting. Close quote. Even more natural, optional upgrade. Open quote, as if I were speaking in a meeting. Close quote. Why? After as if native speakers often use were instead of am when imagining a situation, but both are understandable. Strong sentence to keep. Open quote. I'll explain this as if I were speaking in a meeting. Close quote. That sounds very professional. Repetition mode continues. Go ahead, David. Explain the image.
Okay, as if I were speaking in a meeting. Okay, let me explain. Okay, one more time. Here I go. Let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if I was speaking in a meeting.
Nice flow, David. I'm with you. One tiny upgrade for accuracy. Instead of open quote, as if I was speaking, close quote. The more natural form is open quote, as if I were speaking, close quote. So your strongest version is open quote, let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if I were speaking in a meeting, close quote. Reason, simple. After as if, English often uses were for imagined situations. It sounds more professional and polished. But don't worry, was is understandable. Were just sounds more natural in formal speech. Your delivery rhythm is very good now. You sound like you're preparing to present to real people, not just practicing. That's exactly the right training mindset. Repetition mode's still on. Go ahead, David.
Let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if I were speaking in a meeting.
Nice and clear, David. That sounded smooth. Just one tiny finishing touch so it sounds complete and natural. Open quote. Let me explain the overall instruction of that image slowly, clearly, and as if I were speaking in a meeting. Close quote. You just need the ending phrase in a meeting to complete the idea. Without it, listeners may wonder speaking where. Your structure, rhythm, and pronunciation pattern were very good. No major errors at all. Keep this full sentence for your memory. Open quote. Let me explain this as if I were speaking in a meeting. Close quote. That's a powerful professional phrase. Repetition mode
What kind
continues.
of instruction is this?
Go ahead, David.
What kind of instruction is this? This image giving four key instructions. What kind of instruction is this? 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 This image is giving four key instructions.
You're doing well, David. I'm listening. There's just one important grammar point to fix. You said, open quote, what kind of instructions is this? Close quote. Because instructions is plural, the verb must also be plural. Correct version, open quote, what kind of instructions are these? Close quote. Or if you mean the image as a whole, open quote, what kind of instruction is this? Singular, close quote. Your second sentence, open quote, this image is giving 4 key instructions, close quote. That's understandable, but more natural English is, open quote, this image gives 4 key instructions, close quote. We usually use present simple for descriptions. Best natural version, presentation style, open quote, this image gives 4 key instructions, close quote. Short, clear, professional. You're doing exactly what strong speakers do. Test, repeat, refine. That's the right process. Repetition mode stays on.
Okay, GPT. Unfortunately, I have to go. Have a great weekend. As you know, today is Friday. Thanks God. It's Friday. TGI Friday. Have a great one. And get some rest if you can. Have a great weekend.
All right, David, got you. Happy Friday. Your goodbye sounded natural and friendly. Just one tiny polish if you want it to sound even smoother. Open quote. Thanks a lot. It's Friday. TJF. Have a great weekend. Close quote. We usually say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, not TGI Friday in conversation. Everything else you said was clear, warm, and natural. You did really solid speaking practice today. Steady pace, clear structure, strong repetition. That kind of consistency is exactly what builds real speaking ability. Enjoy your weekend, David. I'll be right here when you come back for the next session.
Thank you for your kind comment. Bye for now.